Hi. Welcome, 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 welcome. Saturday. I'm just kidding. How are you? How are you today? It's Kathy. And here we are. Let's listen and see if you can hear me. It's Kathy. And here we are. Let's listen and see if you can hear me. You can hear me? Excellent. Awesome. Okay, yeah. How you doing today? Okay. I haven't even had a sip of my coffee yet. That's okay. We're going to get there. Today is RC Ashby. And RC Ashby, we're going to read her Wikipedia. Yesterday, I took the day off. Yesterday, I was tired. And I watched a couple of horror movies on the couch. And I want to share my movies that I watched with you. Because they were good. And I really liked them. I watched a movie called The Blackwell Ghost. It's on Fossum. If you get Fossum, check out, if you want to find it, you can look up where it's streaming. It's called The Blackwell Ghost. It's a 1-hour found footage film, and I really, really liked it. So it's super short, it's super easy, and it's found footage. If you like found footage, good one. The second one I watched was, you're gonna laugh, and that's good. It's called Slaxx, and it is a it is a slasher with a soul. It's a slasher with a soul, and you're gonna laugh because I'm gonna show you if I can find it. It's about killer genes, but it's really good. So that one was free. They were both free. Well, I have some streaming services, so I don't know what's going to be free for you or not, but Slaxx was hilarious, but also thoughtful. And it's a good one to if you want to take a nap and watch a horror movie. Good one to do that with. You might not fall asleep, but it was really good. And the other one, The Blackwell Ghost, is not something you're going to fall asleep to, but it was excellent. Okay. RC Ashby is our prompt today, and we're going to read a little bit about her. So Ruby Constance Ann Ferguson, nee Ashby, was born on July 28th, 1899, and she died November 11th, 1966. She was an English writer of popular fiction, including children's literature, romances, and mysteries, as R.C. Ashby and Ruby Ferguson. So R.C. Ashby was her pen name, and it was a pen name. And Ruby Ferguson was her given name. And when I made my prompt list, I didn't know that. I didn't know that she used it as a pen name. So, just an interesting fun fact. And that's happened a few times. So, kind of interesting, right? I'm going to have a sip of my coffee. First sip of the day. All right, let's go. She is best known today for her novel Lady Rose and Mrs. Memory and her Jill books, a series of pony books for children and young adults. She was born in Hebden Bridge and raised in Reeth, North Yorkshire. Her parents were Anne Spencer and the Reverend David Ashby, a Wesleyan minister. Ferguson later became a lay officer in the Methodist Church. She received her education at Bradford Girls Grammar School and then at St. Hilda's College at the University of Oxford, where she read English from 1919 to 1922, gaining a third-class BA, and a few years later, the Oxford MA. Good for her. So, she was very religious, a lay officer of the Methodist Church. So she was involved. I think a lay officer is probably just like a person who's like doesn't have a rank or anything. They just like a lay person, lay officer. I'm just using contextual clues here. Let me turn this light on like this. Okay. So there's not like much to her story in terms of Gothic writing. Moved to Manchester, took a job as a secretary, supplementing her income by writing a regular column for the British Weekly. She reviewed books for the publisher Hodder and Stoughton. Her writing career began in earnest when she submitted some detective stories for a weekly competition in the Manchester Evening News. Her full-length novel, The Moorland Man, appeared in 1926, published by Hodder and Stoughton. She continued writing novels and stories under the name R.C. Ashby until the mid-30s. So these, I think they were more like detective novels, but they count as Gothic. I have some other stuff I can read too about this. I'm trying to get to the bottom of that. In 1929, she assisted the Liberal Party candidate William C. Malleson at the West Derbyshire constituency. Okay, so she's religious and politically minded. On 1 March 1934, she married Samuel Ferguson, a widower and electrical engineer, with 2 sons at the Water Lane Methodist Church in Wilmslow. 3 years later, she published Lady Rose and Mrs. Memory as Ruby Ferguson, a romantic novel that became her greatest success, which was republished in 2004 by Persephone Books. After its original publication, the Queen Mother is reported to have enjoyed the book so much that she invited Ruby Ferguson to dinner at Buckingham Palace. Wow. That's a big deal. And it says it was a romantic novel, and there was clearly like a thread between romantic novels and Gothic novels, right? So, I mean, that tracks. I'm not sure how Gothic Lady Rose and Mrs. Memory was, but the Jill books, okay, are her children's novels about, it was a horse equestrian. That is an equestrian as a horse person. About a young equestrian, Jill Crew, and her adventures with her 2 ponies. Okay. I'm just trying to skim, because there's not like a lot about her personal life that I have found, but due to that, I mean, I want to dig a little bit more into her Gothic. So I have this. R.C. Ashby from GAD Detection, pbworks.com. Ruby Constance Ashby, that is Ruby Constance Anne Ferguson, née Ashby, was an English writer of detective and romantic novels. Okay. R.C. Ashby wrote several Gothic detective novels, decades before the trendy modern Gothic suspense novel of writers like Phyllis Whitney, Victoria Holt, and Mary Stuart, none of which I think are even on my list. So did I not research Gothic authors? Come on. How come they're not on my list? Ashby's mystery novels followed the style of the fair play detective novels of her British counterparts, but often included supernatural and bizarre elements that most often were rationalized in the denouement. I don't know what denouement means. In one case, out went the taper. The supernatural element turned out to be genuine. Oh, okay. I contextual clues. I get it. She wrote some of those books that are, she was into that device where they rationalized the supernatural, it sounds like, where the supernatural element turned out often were rationalized in the denouement, so denouement must be in the end. Okay, figure that out. In one case, out went the taper. The supernatural element turned out to be genuine. Her first detective novel, Death on Tiptoe, is an imitation of Agatha Christie and has some interesting plot incidents, but is rather thin stuff with too much emphasis on hysterical characterizations. Only 2 years later, she would write He Arrived at Dusk, which is certainly her best work. A minor masterpiece in the subgenre of the supernatural detective novel. That's where we get all the Gothic connection. Because, let me lower my voice there. I'm just checking the chat. Hey, Slippa. Yep, just reading about R.C. Ashby. So that is where we get the Gothic element of the detective. It's like all mixed in. That's the Gothic element, is the supernatural detective novel. Okay, a minor masterpiece in the subgenre of the supernatural detective novel. It tells the story of an ancient Roman soldier who haunts a Welsh manor and a wicked murderer who exploits the legend for his own personal gain. Ashby's use of multiple narrators and a brilliant use of misdirection and misinterpretation is something to be admired for such an early work. Good to know. That one sounds like a good listen, a good listen or a good read. So here's some of her books that she has written. Excuse me. The Moorland Man. Excuse me. The Tale of Rowan Christie. Beauty Bewitched. Death on Tiptoe. Plot Against a Widow. He Arrived at Dusk, which I've heard, that's like one of her biggest novels. I'm gonna cough again. Excuse me. Let's see what some commenters say. R.C. Ashby's scarce Death on Tiptoe, 1931, was republished this year by Grey Ladies, a small imprint in Edinburgh. The COC praises Death on Tiptoe as being, quote-unquote, a credible mystery, or a, quote-unquote, credible mystery, and detection besides, whatever that means. Credible mystery and detection besides, while pointing out some needless melodrama. And then somebody says, really? I've read 2 of hers. Out Went the Taper and He Came by Night, but can't remember which was which. I found the one with gangsters in Wales fairly forgettable, but liked the one in the north of England. Those are really old comments, but it's just fun to read what people say nowadays, even though those comments were from 2009. I looked her up on quotations by women, did not find her under Ashby or Ferguson. We read her Wikipedia. I looked her up on LibriVox. I could not find her under Ferguson or Ashby, so she's not there. Here's her books. Death on Tiptoe, He Arrived at Dusk, Out Went the Taper. Let's look at some of these covers. I like to look at the covers, because they're really neat. It's neat to see how they designed them. And hey, maybe we can emulate that in her art today. He Arrived at Dusk. I love these covers. Let's look at the covers. Maybe we can click into it. Yeah. So here's one of the covers. They are so 20s, right? They're so early 20th century. I love it. All right. That's neat. And then let's look at this one. I want to look at Out Went the Taper. I want to look at Out Went the Taper. I think they're probably talking about a candle. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Let's look at this. Come on. There we go. Okay. Good color story. Out Went the Taper. All right. Great. So let's see. Okay. So today's quote, I'm going to be completely upfront. I could not find much in terms of quotes for R.C. Ashby, but I do want to show you what I'm going to use because we're doing this. We're here and we're doing R.C. Ashby, and she has the quote I could find is, I'm terrified of children. I never know what to do with them. You can't scruff them up like puppies and admire their ears and teeth. And if you talk to them like intelligent human beings, they only greet you with the most disconcerting stares. That's from her book, Lady Rose and Mrs. Memory. I kind of like just using I'm terrified of children. So I think I'm going to do that and make it like a spooky kid. Like, I'll show you. Like I did the kids I used in Catherine Crow's art. Page, day, whatever. Let me show you. I think that would be really fun. Okay. Where are, there we go. See, like this. Kids like that. Like creepy little children that are like ghostly. I think that would be really fun. Let's do that. Let's do that because I think it's funny. And you know, I don't know. Like, we gotta do something today for Ashby. And I'm drawing. I'm blanking. So we're gonna just go in and have a little fun with some ghostly children, because I think that would be fun. And maybe a couple branches of like tree, because I always like to add a little spooky tree branches, you know? Hey, maybe we'll have that end, this part of my pen will be nice and juicy. I like it when this part, the other part of my pen, the large marker part, has like, I like it when it's like kind of dried out. Let's see if the other one, because then I get interesting textures and things. No, pretty juicy. Pretty juicy. Both of them are juicy. That's okay. We're going to go with it. Let's use a thinner pen for some of these branches. I'm terrified of children. I love that. That is so great. Let's draw some little kids. Let's draw some terrifying little children. Down below. I'm gonna move the camera down here like that. And let's just go in. Draw some little spooky little kids. I think I want to reference my own art, so I'm gonna find a picture of that artwork. Huh, I can't find it. Hold on one sec. Looking. There we go. Found it. Okay, great. Here we are. Excellent. We got a spooky little kid here. It's so funny how this ghost really looks like a spooky little kid. I mean, the picture I drew, I'm sorry. It's not a ghost. I mean, it is a ghost. It's like a little ghost kid, but it's funny how it actually does look like. A little spooky little ghost child. Little spooky ghost child. We're drawing ghostly children if you just got here. We're doing R.C. Ashby today, who is a really 20th century, because she was popular in like the early 1900s, and she was a detective, kind of a detective writer for part of her career, and then we don't have a lot of information about her personal life, so we just totally skipped that entire thing because I couldn't find anything on that. But also she did children's books and she did detective stories, which were very, like, one of them is considered Gothic, and the rest I think are really like horror adjacent. I mean, goth adjacent, more or less, if not, fully goth. But, goth is like a spectrum, Gothic is like a spectrum. You have your, your romantic, and then it's supernatural stuff. And then, so the detective stuff does fall into, it's like a kind of like a subgenre, So that's what we're doing today. We're doing R.C. Ashby. We're illustrating her quote about how she doesn't like children. So we'll get there. Hold on, I gotta find that quote again. I didn't write it down. I have to look at what I typed out on the prompt page, and I typed out, "I'm terrified of children. I never know what to do with them. You can't scruff them up like puppies and admire their ears and teeth. And if you talk to them like intelligent human beings, they only greet you with the most disconcerting stares." So I thought that quote, if we're going spooky, which I wanted to go spooky, and I like the idea of spooky children, and I really liked the spooky children that I did for Catherine Crowe early in Inktober. We're going to do some spooky children, and we're going to do "I'm terrified of children." And we're going to dump the rest of the quote. We're just going to use "I'm terrified of children," and we're going to have a little lineup of creepy little creepy kids here, because it's funny. Because I really like these creepy little children that I drew. And I'm going to show you, I'll show you on my iPad, because actually, I mean, I can show you in here because it's in here, but that means I have to turn the page, and I don't want to do that. So see this little child, see this little spooky ghost children. We're doing some little spooky ghost children. So really, who can complain with spooky ghost children? Not me. I can't complain with spooky ghost children. They're a fun little draw, I have to say. And I was telling you earlier about a movie that I watched yesterday called The Blackwell Ghost. And so this movie is a found footage fake documentary, and apparently, and I only watched one of them, but there's apparently 8 altogether in the series, and it's just a guy who made these found footages, and I haven't seen any of them except for the first one, but I'm going to seek out the other ones because I really, really liked the first one. And so I'm going to look them up. I don't know if I'm going to have to pay or not. And I have a knee-jerk reaction to having to pay extra for movies on streaming because I have so many streaming services that, like, I don't think I should have to, so I don't like to. But, you know, let's see. Let's see if I can find more of the Blackwell Ghost online, and I will report back. But super good creepy fun for Halloween and for any time. If you like horror movies like I do, or you know, supernatural horror, I like a lot of different kind of horror, and found footage is definitely one of my very favorite horror genres. So I wanted to share that with you because yesterday I was tired. I went out on Thursday to visit some people. Visited my sisters, and my train got kind of stuck. So that was a little bit of a pain. And then I had to get off and walk, but that was totally fine. And then I was out really late. And then I just decided to take the day off because I am much better when I'm not tired. And I will tell you, this fall is kind of kicking my butt. Like, I love fall. I love October. It's my favorite time of year. But the whole transition, right, is like something. It's something. So I've been having a little bit more trouble getting up in the morning. Not trouble. I mean, I got up fine. I just didn't want to get up. You know what I mean? I just wanted to stay in bed. So I've been getting up a little bit later than I usually do. And I really prefer to... Let's give them cute, funny hats. Should we? Shall we? Shall we? And spooky little faces. Yeah, so it's been, I mean, hey, I have my system down though, I have to tell you. After doing this since late July, I do have a system down and I'm very happy with it. I got a system. I have a system, I get up, I put my water on to boil, I get in the shower. I turn on my computer. Do you need to hear this? Do you care? Am I boring you? Yeah, so it's good. I have my system down. I turn on all my things. We're streaming, and then I'm ready to go. Let's give this one some little white shoes. Little creepy children. What's more Halloween than little creepy children? I don't know. Not much, right? There's not much more creepy than little creepy children. Let's give her like a dress under her, over her pants. Little pantaloons. And let's give her a little lunchbox. Ooh, you know, I'd really like to give the rest of these guys some little lunch boxes or backpacks or something. But... oh, let's give her some little hair. Oh, this guy should have a little stuffed animal. Let's do a little stuffed animal. Here. There we go. Excellent. Okay. Let's do like a little gate behind them. Because, you know, there's nothing more creepy than a little iron gate behind you to help with the mood, right? Banged up one at that. Quite banged up. Okay. Let's find that quote again. I'm terrified of children. Why can I not remember that? I keep thinking, what did it say? I'm terrified of children. I don't like children. I'm scared of children. What did I say? It says, I'm terrified of children. And then the other movie I watched yesterday, you guys, this is a total don't sleep on it movie. And you know, your mileage may vary. You might not like it like I liked it. And I did fall asleep during it. Like I fully admit, I fell asleep during this movie. But I fell asleep, but only for a couple minutes. Only for a couple minutes, and I got to watch it to the end. And from beginning to end, I mean, there was like a scene or two that maybe I, was snoozing a little bit. But if you follow the story, it's a really good story. And you're not going to believe what I'm going to say. If you just got here. It's called Slaxx, and it's a slasher. I'm making it up. I'm marketing it. Slasher with a soul. It's a slasher with a soul. So check out Slaxx, Slaxx. The poster has a picture of... I'm going to give this guy like a little pocket watch. How's that? Oh, I really like these creepy children. This is good. One more. Should we do one more? We could do a creepy dog too, but I think let's just keep it with the creepy children. Do this guy, small, tiny little child here. Slaxx was good. I don't want to give anything away, so I can't really say much more about Slaxx than it's about killer jeans. Yes, you heard me right. Killer jeans that you wear, pants. It's about killer jeans, and I really liked it. And it's on Fawsome, Fawsome, and I don't know, your mileage may vary whether or not you have to pay to see it. I would totally watch it for free. I would probably pay like a couple bucks to see it. It's not like, it's not going to change your life or anything, but it was really good. It was like, I was very impressed because I expected, from what I expected, you're not going to expect anything. You're going to expect it to be like a terrible, streamer. Like you're not going to expect much from it, but the story was shockingly very good. And it all starts with the story, right? But then the production values were very good. I was impressed with the production value. It was definitely like more than I expected. And I just love the story. The story was great. And yeah, it's ridiculous, of course. But it was good. It was a movie with a message. Yeah, it's good. Very good. So, Slaxx. Okay, who stands like this? Nobody stands like this. Nobody stands like with their feet out like that. Maybe sometimes little kids do. I don't know. But I want to give this kid like a puffy suit, like on A Christmas Story. And maybe like has a zipper. Did they have zippers in the early 1900s? I think they did. We can pretend for the sake of this piece of artwork that they did. Okay. Let's put polka dots, because you know, you always got to have some fun little element, right? Some fun little something to differentiate the kids or the little ghostly children. And you know, because we don't all walk around with solids on all the time. Spooky, spooky children. What do we want to do? Should we do like a pumpkin? What are you thinking? Pumpkin? Do we want to do a pumpkin, or do we want to do like, what other, how about a nice gravestone? I'm just kidding. We're not going to do that. I would like to flesh out these trees a little bit over here, but you know, this is like very secondary to those creepy children, because those creepy children are kind of the star of the show here. So I'm just going to make some quick little so we have our creepy children down here. We could do one more, right? Let's do one more creepy children. Creepy child with a little hat on. Another creepy child. Oh, let's have this one like holding a stick or something. Because that's, you know, like, then you can say, why is this kid holding a stick? Why is this creepy child holding a stick? This creepy ghost child? And what are they planning to do with that stick? So I have a little movie watching club group, and we watch Zoom movies together that we've done, horror movies, ever since COVID times. So like for 5 years we've done it, and yesterday in the chat I put in Slaxx and nobody responded. So I'm thinking that maybe people aren't as excited to see Killer Jeans as I am. You know? I mean, you can't just, you know, discard the idea without fully investigating the strangeness of that. What am I doing with this hat? I did a big puffy pom-pom, but I feel like it's not working. My big puffy pom-pom is not working. So let's just instead make it a big hat. Because I don't know if this works either, but it's gonna have to. It's simply going to have to work, because that's what he's getting. That's what this little ghost child is getting. It actually might work out to be even creepier. It might be fun to have like a little ghost animal with them, but I don't know. Okay, I think we're gonna draw the quote in a minute. Let's just do some detailing here. We're almost there, actually. We're just gonna go in and just like scrawl. I'm terrified. I'm terrified of children. Does that sound good to you? Because I think that sounds like a fun thing to write. I'm terrified of children. All right. Creepy little children here. Let's give this guy a little stripes on his jacket. Or texture, rather. I don't know that it's stripes, but... Okay. Alright. We're there. Should we do like a pumpkin at the end? Like a little nice little creepy pumpkin? Let's do like a nice little creepy pumpkin. You know, because it is Halloween after all, right? Let's do a nice little creepy pumpkin. That looks kind of like a skull. Okay, now. Okay. Now, here we go. Here we go. We're going to go into the quote. We're going to go into some other bits of this. Just going to scribble, do some scribbling, get some texture, get some color going on in here. We're almost done with this. We have just a little more to go. So when this video is done, when the live is done, I will put both of those videos, links to both of the videos, the movies that I mentioned, into the description so you can find them if you would like to, okay? Because the Blackwell Ghost, right? Blackwell Ghost, I think it's called. I mean, it's super indie, so I mean, I'm sure they both are, actually, because I mean, I can't imagine Slaxx has a lot of muscle behind it, you know? I mean, it's good to support, you know? Good to support. Am I avoiding doing the quote? What's going on here? How come I haven't drawn the quote in yet? I'm just going for a little bit more mood here first. You know, this paper, and I know I've said this so many times this month, but I'm so tempted to just take a brush and some ink to this paper and just like... And maybe I will. Maybe I'll just do it today. I have a water brush here. I can. I can. All right, let's draw I'm Terrified of Children. And just for the very last time, excuse me, my friends, just checking my quotes. I'm terrified of children. Hey, I think we should use our creepiest. I think first we're going to go to our tester page. And, oh, so what I was saying about this paper, and I've said it every day, is it just is not great with, like, when you want to dump a bunch of water on it, you know? So here's what we're using this. Canson XL pen and ink, okay? Like, great. Fun to try a new paper. I have used marker paper. This is very much like marker paper, if not the exact same thing. I don't actually know if there's any difference between this and marker paper. This is 80 pound. It's slick. It does not have much of a tooth at all. It's smooth, basically. And see? Isn't that better? But then it does a little warpy thing, and I'm really not into that. I'm really not into the warpy thing. But let's write with our lovely ink. Oh, and also, sorry, let me back up. When you drop a bunch of ink on it, like splat a bunch of ink on it, you know, it doesn't really hold up, okay? I mean, it does a little weird feathery thing, which, look, my mixed media paper doesn't do that, you know? Like, why? Let's just go in with the Ecoline applicator because we can. And because it gives us a nice creepiness to it. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for some creepiness. But whatever you do, when you're holding the lid of this thing, don't poke yourself like I just did, because we don't want to get anything. Oh, I have an idea. Let's see if we can get some good, like, do some water brushing with this. Okay, yeah, let's do that. But be careful with this, because it really does drip. Oh, I'm going to put this aside. I don't want to... I think maybe I'll just draw this with my brush pen. Isn't there like a horror movies that's called The Terrifier? I think. Isn't that like a... I've not seen them. I think it's a... I was going to say, I think it's a line. I think it's a line of horror movies. I think it's a... you know what I'm trying to say here. I'm terrified. I think there's a horror movie series called The Terrifier, which I have not seen. And I really don't watch the Saw movies either. There are some horror movies that I don't watch. I don't watch the Paranormal Activities. I don't watch Saw, and I don't watch The Terrifier. I mean, I might someday, but I haven't yet. Okay, I haven't yet. I don't know if I will, but I haven't yet. So, I'm terrified. This is coming out good so far. I mean, you know, let's not hold our breath. There's time to mess it up. There's time. It could happen. Absolutely. I'm terrified of children. But isn't it just fun to just like go in and just like, hey, you know what? Let's see. What's going to happen here? Anything could happen. I'm terrified of children, especially when they have little ghost faces. And they're just hanging out at the bottom of my page. Terrified of children. Okay, let's grab this guy again. I'm gonna do that. We're gonna do, oop! 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 See what I say? What I say? I don't want to add water to this. Let's just do that. So we have a bigger F. How's that? Because sometimes if you use your water brush, it's going to give you water. And you might not want water. Right? You might just want it to like move things around for you like a brush would, but it's going to give you water. Because that's gravity for you. So, in that case, grab another brush. Just to move things around, right? Alright, and now we're gonna give some value to these letters here. We're almost done. We are almost done. And I'm just grabbing some drops. I did some inadvertent paint drops throughout on my paper. So I'm just grabbing some drops. And now I'm just gonna add some details here. time. Terrified. And I want to bring in this textural element of this brush and the water brush just to the kids a little bit, to the ghostly children. Just a little, just to bring it in, you know? Not adding much water. You got to be careful with these water brushes because, you know, you can get more than you bargain for if you're not careful. If you're not looking for a lot of water to just, you know, go all over your page. I think this paper's okay with like just a little bit of water. It just doesn't do what I want it to do when you put a lot of water on. It does this weird, as you can probably imagine, it does a... Ooh, there's a lot of ink on this brush. I'm just trying to wash it off a little bit because I don't have any water handy. Like a bowl. You know what I'm saying. I don't have a little jar of water handy. I do like using it. See, I wanted to get some shadow and stuff. But you see, when you can't just use it as a brush. You got to use it with water. So that's when you want to introduce a dry brush and just use that as your buddy if you don't have, you know, if you don't have a thing of water nearby. I accidentally did some shadow on this little guy's coat, and that's okay. Do like that. And like that. Right along the edges there. Okay. Ooh, yeah, okay. That's good. But since I don't have a spray bottle, which would be very nice right about now. I don't know where my little... Hey, maybe this will work. Maybe not. I don't know. No, I don't think I have any water in that. We still have to write her name, so we're going to do R.C. Ashby in a minute. I just want to complete this shadow stuff down here, the water. I do need to be careful with this because this paper will absorb if I accidentally put it on a drop of if I accidentally have ink on my bottom paper, like on the paper that I'm working on, my table, this paper will just absorb it. And then we'll have, you know, yesterday's, or not yesterday's, but the day, because I wasn't here yesterday. Then we'll have the 23rd, Inktober 23rd art. Get it all inky on one side, and I don't want to play with that. I don't want to get anything messed up like that. I like this. This came out good, especially for one that, like, we just didn't know how creepy this was going to get today. This is creepy. I'm into it. I'm good on this level of creepiness. Let's write her name and then let's be done with this. Shall we? And then let's remember, next time I pick up this water pen, that I used black ink with it and that it's got ink in it. All right, we're gonna write R.C. Ashby. Let's get a little ink on there. C. Ashby. Because we need to give props to these lady authors of horror and goth and terror goth and romantic goth and supernatural goth. And where's my cover for this pen? Right here. For all the goth, right? All right. See how that happens? It goes right on there. See this? There's like a needle inside this, and then you just slip it right into the needle there. All right. Let's go back and make sure that the quote, Ruby Ferguson, R.C. Ashby, Lady Rose, and Mrs. Memory. Do we need to write this? Do we want to write this? No, I don't. I'm just going to do R.C. Ashby. Because I like that. Because it's fitting for me. It's giving me what I want. And I'm happy with it. Let's see if this will spray. I don't think it has any water in it. Oh, that's sad. That's okay. That's all right. We still have some here. So let's dip into the ink that's in this L here. And just do some little final bits. Creepy tree and creepy kids. And you know what would be really nice? Let's do a little background here. You can do that. Little background. That's nice. That gives a little bit of something to it. Okay, add a little more something to this. A little more mood. And it'll give us a little more opportunity to add some more different values in here. I have to say this cute little pumpkin skull just sort of looks like he's floating away down here. Might be nice to add a little shade around these kids' heads inside their little hats, right? Give them a little spook. Give them a little spook factor, right? All right, let's look at the finale. Let's look at our final piece here. Are we done yet? I keep saying we're done, and then I just keep working on it, so. I don't know what's going on with that, but. Okay. Excellent. All right, great, we're done. Let me show you the final. Spooky children. Spooky children. All right. Hey, thanks for joining me today. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing... Oh my gosh, excuse me. Tomorrow we're doing Florence Marriott. So that will be fun and interesting because I know nothing about her right now. So I have some research to do. Oh my goodness, what's going on? I just picked up my pen. I wanted to do something different here. Let's just add a little bit. I want to have this dark because I like the arc, but this white part was kind of bugging me a little bit, I have to say. Uh-oh. No, I think that works. I'm gonna actually add a little bit more ink, I think, because I want to do that. See how art is magic? You can just change things. You can just change things. There we go. Let's just make this like that. Let's just do that. But do remember, when you're using ink, you can add it, but you can't take it away. So that means I got to put a cap on it. And I'm going to just add a little bit more shadow to the ground here, just to bring it in, because I think I really shadowed things very much so. But I think this really fits with the quote, right? I guess I needed more spookiness. Okay, we're good. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's hang this up. I will be back at 12:30 for another page of Night Garden Fairy Cats on my iPad in Procreate. So if you would like to join me for that, I will see you then. And I will be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern for Florence Marriott, our day 26 of Inktober, Renowned Women Authors of Classic, Gothic, and Horror. All right, have a great rest of your day if I don't see you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.